Well, I'm going to put a set in here. Basically, I'm just going to use this as my backing. Clean this out. I already set my trap. Just clean this out. I'm going to put a set in. When I go into an area, I'm not really looking like, oh, I can put a flat set there. If something jumps out at me, obviously I'm going to take that opportunity. But I don't think I'm going to go into an area and make dirt holes, or I'm going to go in and make a flat set. Just what I see and what stands out to me is what I make. More often than not here in Pennsylvania, I'm making sets that are going to be good for fox, coon, coyote, and also bobcat. If hopefully we don't catch any bobcats. They're not in season right now. I don't really want to have to let them go. But ultimately, I'm making an all-around set, and I'm probably going to put a dirt hole in here and put some bait down in there. But ultimately, it's not hard. You're just going to dig your bed. I'm going to probably want my hole. Now, you know, coyotes, you want to be 9, 10 inches, maybe even 11 or 12 back. Fox, usually in that 7, 8 inch range from where your dirt hole is. But I'm kind of in between. I'm usually around 8 or 9 here in Pennsylvania because I want to catch all the critters that come in. If I miss a coyote here and there, that's, you know, so be it. But ultimately, every set that I'm going to put in on this line over the next few days to get out here and catch some critters, I'm going to be making mostly dirt holes, and I'm going to have the trap set, you know, 7, 8, 9 inches back, somewhere in that in-between range. And, you know, I catch my fair share of coyotes in these sets. If I'm on location for coyotes. I don't think I'm on location for coyotes at this particular farm. We have a cornfield here. We have a farm over here in a slow-moving waterway that runs down through here, and this is kind of an edge road that runs down through here, and the foxes, they see quite a few foxes here, and you probably hear the rooster in the background once in a while. They're in here trying to get their chickens, and we're coming in just trying to catch a few foxes and you know, solve a few of their problems. But more often than not, I'm making a kind of an overall set, and you'll see that as we start to get the construction of this in here. Get it in there and then just pull to the side. It sets that stake, and then we're going to bed our trap down in here. Now, when you're bedding your trap, the biggest thing to catching predators or any animal is to make sure your trap is bedded properly. And you don't want any wiggle on that trap whatsoever. And we're going to pack that dirt around the jaws and over the springs here to really get this bedded in the ground to where there's no wobble. When we touch it anywhere on that trap, it doesn't move. So if an animal comes in and gets on that side of that trap, if there's any wobble, he's coming back off of it. So we want to have that trap bedded properly to where there's no wobble whatsoever, and when they hit that pan, we got them. Take our fiberglass pan cover, just putting that on there to keep dirt from getting under the pan. And I'm using my grandfather's old sifter that he made from wood back in the 70s. I like using this just for the mere fact that my grandfather used it, my father used it, and now I'm out here using it. My dad doesn't like getting out here much anymore with the work that goes into putting these traps in the ground, but he gave it to me, and it's something that I treasure. I think it's pretty cool that I'm able to use this. And as you can see, I'm about 8, 10, 12 inches down in there. That's good. That'll work right there. All right. Get a good glob of that. Get that way down deep in the hole. And then I'm going to use a little bit of Leggett's Canine Exciter here on the back. I like Ron Leggett. He's a good friend of mine from Maryland, and as you know, the Leggetts have caught a lot of fox over the years, so anything Ron uses and makes is good enough for me. Now, this set's pretty much done. I don't really need to do anything other than put another set in about 8 or 10 feet away. I highly recommend if you come in and make a set and you take the time to make one set, definitely put 2 in, because they're going to run in pairs. Gives you a chance to catch doubles. If you're on a lot of sign, high population animals, put 3 or 4 in an area, and it's going to increase your catch numbers. And if you go into an area, I highly recommend that you definitely do that. But I'm pretty happy with this set right here, and I'm going to move down here about 8-10 feet and get myself another one. Hopefully come in and have a double. I want to take a second this week and talk to you a little bit about the 550 Duke offset that's out. This is just a fantastic trap. It's got the latch there, boom, flat, ready to go. It's got really heavy cast jaws. It's double base plated, it's got the center swivel. We've added a couple MB crunches to add 3 different swivel points and a good staking system. That's what you're gonna get in our North American Trapper kits, but ultimately it's got a really good pan, gives you a wide area to have that animal step. And the one good thing about these is they're so heavy duty with these big cast iron jaws, you can actually get in there and really pack this trap tight in the ground when you're making your set, which is ultimately 99% of the equation to being successful in the field, not having that critter know there's a trap under the dirt. But they are just a fantastic piece of equipment. Ultimately, if you're in the market for some of these traps to go out there and go after coyotes or fox or some problem animals, make sure you check out these Duke 550s. They're offset. They're easier on the animal. The cast iron jaws are really thick, easier on the animal for holding power. And it's just a real beast of a trap, and I highly recommend, if you get the opportunity, check out these Duke 550s because they are a fantastic piece of equipment, and I think you're going to be really happy with what you find. Well, I'm going to pound another set in here. This is actually one of my favorite spots over the last few years. This is just a little farmstead. There's a trail, a game trail that comes in here. It hits a 2-track, and we're literally only about 100 yards from where the housing development is. But I've caught coyotes, fox, and bobcat here every time I set this. It's just it's almost like that's the dividing line over there. Wherever those houses end and this wood starts, it goes out here about maybe 2 miles to where you get to another development, but ultimately every one of the predators is running through here. There's a lot of deer in here, there's a lot of grouse, and there's a lot of food source. And you know, actually this is the exact spot right in here where I've caught coyote, bobcat, and fox in this location, and it's just fantastic. And we're just going to pound it in right here. Very simply, this is kind of a mountainous area. I'm actually in the northern Pocono mountain range here in Pennsylvania. So it just really, you don't have to be in farmland or whatever. You can get in some big country and catch these predators. But ultimately, this is one of my favorite spots, as I said, the last couple years. So we're gonna get a set in here and hopefully connect again. Give it a little pull, that's set. Get our trap set. Using a 1 3/4 offset here. Got to get that trap bedded properly. Right down in there. This is the biggest thing when it comes to being a successful trapper, and that is getting this trap packed so tight that when that animal comes in, now when they come in here and they're stepping around, you can see I'm putting a lot of pressure on every one of these jaws and springs, and that trap is not wobbling any. That is the key to successful predator trapping. And if you get your traps bedded in there like this, and they are solid, and they can step on the dog, or they can step on the spring or the jaws or whatever, they don't move, and they're going to continue to work your dirt hole down here. And this is going to allow them to step in it, whether it's a back foot or a front foot or whatever. But that is the key, and ultimately that's all you need to do. make sure that trap is bedded in there solid. That's good. Now we'll just find the top of that trap. This turned into almost of a little trench set, but ultimately this is what I want. I've got that trap back probably about 12 inches, and that even a coyote is going to attempt to get into here. And we got that dirt hole up here, and just making it look like they dug it out, and we're going to get something in that hole that they're going to be wanting. We'll get some bait out, get a big glob of that, get that right down in the hole, jam it down in there as far as I can. I'm not a big worrier of touching baits and lures and stuff with the gloves that I'm making the set, because if an animal, in my mind, if an animal buries something, there's going to be other scent around the area. We have a focal point there, down in that hole. That's where most of the smell's coming from. I think animals expect to have other smells at the set. And plus, we don't give them as much credit, I don't think, as they probably deserve. And they're gonna smell human scent here. Over a couple days, that may dissipate a little bit, and then we have only what's coming out of the hole. But I wouldn't worry so much about scent at a set. But ultimately, that's pretty good. I'm just gonna leave this clump right here. They'll work in around that. We'll get them down in that hole, and hopefully we continue to have success here like we have had in the past. But this place, I'm going to put 2 more over here on this 2-track, right where it meets this field edge, and then I'm going to put 2 more out where it meets the wood line. Ultimately, I'm pretty happy with this set, and if you put sets in on your line like this, you're going to be successful when you're out there chasing these predators.
Control predators on your land with a North American Trapper Coyote package. You'll get all of the trapping essentials needed to handle this elusive critter with an instructional DVD included to teach you the way. Get your Coyote trapping box and more at NorthAmericanTrapper.com.
You need to have faith in the baits and lures piquing the curiosity of those at large predators. North American Trapper has you covered on your quest with our skunk-based Madness, crawfish-based Coonbuster, fish-based Reaper, and our meat-based Mountain Man. North American Trapper baits and lures are all multi-layered and proven to help you become the best predation trapper that you can be. Take back control of the ecosystem that is yours and get our scent bundle at NorthAmericanTrapper.com for the next time you're out breaking dirt on the line.
Well, we got a nice gray fox, pretty gray fox. As you can see, these sets, you make these sets, these dirt holes, or flat sets, whatever you're making out there, you're going to be successful. The reason I chose this spot, we have a cornfield on this side and a cornfield on the other side with this 2-track here, and it just kind of narrows them down when they're hunting these little edgeways here. There's a creek right here beside me, kind of a stagnant pooly type thing, but this right here is where they're hunting. They're hunting in here for mice, rabbits, things of that nature. The cornfield keeps them kind of narrowed in here, and it's just a great position to make your sets. And ultimately, we got ourselves a nice gray fox here today. I'm going to do the remake. I'm going to show you exactly what we did here. It wasn't much different than you've seen before, but ultimately, we got ourselves a nice gray fox today, and starting the day off good. Put about a dozen sets out yesterday. This is the only action we had today. We're going to put some more out today. I'm actually going to go down here, going to remake this one. I didn't have time yesterday when I came in. I got in here late, I made the set, and usually you're not looking to catch those predators the first night, but I got in here, made this set, and ultimately only put 1 in here, but I want to have 2 down through here. Hopefully have a chance to get a double, but as you can see, we got a nice gray fox, and we're going to take care of him and show you the remake. I'm going to show you this remake real quick. Just get the grass and stuff he's got in here. I'm just going to take all that grass and stuff. Actually, you know what? I'll use that as my backing. That's got a lot of fox scent on it. Just put that back there. You don't really need to do too much. I'm going to re-dig this out a little bit for my trap. Right there. That's all we really need to do. Nice little gray fox though. It's always nice to come in and see one bouncing up. Get this set. There's that. I'm not going to use a pan cover or anything here. This dirt's pretty soft. This farm ground here, as I said, we got these cornfields here, but that bed right there, put a little bit dirt down in there. We got that nice and sturdy. Biggest thing when you're making these sets, I can't say it enough, make sure that you have them packed in. There cannot be any wobble. You see there's a little wobble there? So we're gonna take our dirt and we're gonna pack that down in these jaws. And one good thing about this farmland is you got like a little clay mix or whatever, and you can get that, pack those jaws in around the sides to where that's not moving. Get that packed down in too. And now, anywhere on that trap, if that animal steps on the jaw, it's not going to wiggle. He's going to get in that pan, then you're going to have him here. But that's pretty much it. We're going to find our old hole, which is right here. We're going to dig the hole back out. You can see how deep I get that down there. Basically, that hole's about 12 inches deep. I like to have a deep hole like that. Get that dug out. Over there. Rebed that in there. Get grass out. Make sure that's not wobbling. Then we're just going to cover that trap. One good thing about this set now, it's got a lot of fox scent. And that's exactly what we want. Any other fox that comes down through here, going to stop and investigate this. And we're going to have him when we come back in the next day. Any of these predators are going to know that a human's been around here, whether you're trapping coyotes, fox, whatever. There's going to be human scent, but scent's all relative, and you want everything down in that hole. When I use lure, bait, urine, I'm not going to use any urine or lure here this time because we have so much fox scent around here. But if I do use lure or urine at this set, I'm going to be putting that down in the hole as well. This week I just wanted to take some time and show you our MOUNTAINMAN bait. And as you can see, it's just a really good, thick, meaty, creamy paste. This is 4 equal parts of ground Angus, ground fresh prairie dog, ground poultry, and rendered prairie dog as well to give it a little bit of that extra go. But ultimately, we got about 11 different ingredients in this. It's a great bait for your fox, coyote, bobcat situations, your dirt holes, the situations where you're going to need a good bait to entice that critter to work your set. We are very happy with the MOUNTAINMAN and what we've put together here, and we're sure that you would be too. But with the 4 equal parts and all the ingredients in there, it's just something that is enticing them, really maximizing their curiosity to work your set. And ultimately, that's what we're trying to do with all of our North American Trapper products. So if you get an opportunity, stop by the website and check out this MOUNTAINMAN. And I'm sure you're not going to be disappointed. This is the set you saw me put in the other day. We caught that gray fox down here a few days ago. Made this set from scratch. And as you can see, I now have 2 traps here. This one, the jaw's flipped up. But the reason I have 2 traps here now is we came in the very next day, and this trap and the one where the fox was caught were uncovered. Now this one's completely dug out, and ultimately we got ourselves a digger. You're gonna have that if you trap canines enough. You don't do everything perfect. Maybe they wobbled. The trap might have wobbled. Might have caused him to be cautious seeing his buddy in the trap. But all in all, we got a digger, we got 2 traps here, and we are going to catch them. Like I said, if you trap canines enough, you're going to have this problem at some point. He didn't even get the bait out. I don't even need to redo the bait. but I'm going to dig this out a little differently now. I had them a little tight, trying to get them down in there, but I'm actually going to bring this out a little bit more. I'm going to bed it out farther now, but as I was saying, if you trap canines long enough, you're going to have this happen. They're going to uncover traps, and it's just one of those things. It's going to be the case, and you got to do things, and there are things that you can do, and we will catch this fox. We're going to bed that right here, get that down in there, get those jaws packed in. All right, that's pretty good right there. They're in there good now, but that's the placement. Before I had one right here where this one is, and I had the other one over here, and he got in around him. We're going to catch him in that back trap, and we're going to do the same thing at the other set down there. So if he comes in there, we're going to get him on this back one. All right, that's good. Throw that right there. Just messing with us, but we're gonna mess with him. We're gonna get him. But ultimately, that's all we need to do in this situation. Preferably you catch them to where they're not educated and you're coming in not having to put a second trap in the ground. But ultimately, if you have a fox or a coyote or something that's working your sets and messing with you, digging you out because he's been educated, use these two traps, put two traps in. Now, like I said, I had these side by side. I didn't really want to make it too big of a bed. I had them side by side. He flipped them, and he actually flipped the one and dug the other one completely out. So we're gonna fix him. We got that one, the pan's about right here, and the other one, the pan's about right here. He's gonna come in thinking those two traps are up in here, and he's gonna get caught in that back one. And we're gonna do that to the same thing we're gonna do to the set that's up the road a little ways. All right, awesome. We got this gray here. As you saw in the previous segment, we caught that gray fox here earlier a few days ago, and I don't know if this one, I think it's got to be the same fox. I think there's only a pair of them here, but this one here either got educated. Maybe there was a little wobble in the trap that I didn't notice, or maybe he got educated running with that other fox and knew something was in there and he dug us out. So we put two traps in, and I showed you in the previous segment where he dug out the two traps. But we put two traps in, had two different sets here, and he dug that one out down there, but we ended up catching him in this one. But it's a pretty great fox. Ultimately, if you do enough predator trapping and you're out there, whether it's fox trapping, coyotes, whatever, you're going to have some instances where you're going to educate some animals, and they're going to come in, they're going to uncover the trap, they're going to dig you out, as we say. But ultimately, you can catch these animals. It takes about another 2 minutes to put a second trap in, back off to the right or left, and when they're working in to think that they're going to dig that other one out, you get them in the one that they don't think is there. And ultimately, it's always fun to catch a fox or a coyote or whatever in your set, but to catch one that you know was beating you is actually a lot better. But you can see this is just a beautiful gray fox. We got the two traps here, you can see, but ultimately, getting out here, chasing these predators, whether you're fox trapping, coyote trapping, bobcat, whatever, coming out here being one-on-one with nature is always a lot of fun.
North American Trapper has got you covered when it comes to essential trapping baits and lures. When you're moving soil out of the field, know that you're getting the best scents available with the North American Trappers line. Go to NorthAmericanTrapper.com today and explore the mountain man in you.
Nuisance animals leading you down the path of a modern-day Daniel Boone? North American Trapper can help with its full line of trapping packages that will aid in your predation control. Whether it's coyote, raccoon, fox, or beaver, NorthAmericanTrapper.com has what's needed. Check out our Mountain Man box. It has all of the basics needed to catch most all creatures of the night. You get the traps, tools, baits, and lures, plus 2 instructional DVDs to show you the way. Start breaking dirt today and regulate those problem animals with one of our predation packages at NorthAmericanTrapper.com.
Well, this week I wanted to talk to you about increasing or decreasing the pan tension on the new 550 or 650 Duke. To increase the pan tension, you're going to take the dog away from the trap. If you want to decrease the pan tension, you're going to bend the dog. You can see that it's pretty straight up and down. If you bend that dog in a little bit, that's actually going to decrease the pan tension. Ultimately, it depends, you know, if some of you are using these for fox, you may want to decrease the pan tension so a fox is setting it up. If you don't want to catch fox and you only want to catch bigger coyotes, you can increase the pan tension by taking the dog away from the trap. And it's very simple. You're just going to put it in a vise and tap it a little bit. It's actually going to bend that dog inward or outward, and it's still going to night latch, but what you've done is increased or decreased the pan tension by doing that. And that's just one little trick that's going to help you you know, get your traps properly working for how you want them out in the field. But just remember, to increase the pan tension, the dog should be bent a little bit away from the trap. To decrease the pan tension, you want to bend the dog into the trap. And ultimately, that's just one tip that'll help you be more successful when you're out in the field. But this Duke 550 is a fantastic trap. It's got the real heavy base, triple swivel, and that is a coyote getter, and that's exactly what we're using. I'm going to show you the construction of a dirt hole, and most coyotes, I mean, there's variations of the dirt hole, and there's flat sets and scent post sets and things out there, but most of your canines are getting taken with this set. You can dig a hole with a trowel. We're putting a lot of sets in. It's a lot easier. We got a drill bit here, so I'm just going to make a hole. I'm using this fence post here as my backing, and I'm just going to use that right there. Now you got to place your trap, and we're going to dig a bed for that. And that's just a little bit of brute strength. Dig back through here where you want to put your trap. Now I don't have a problem with eye appeal to set. I like eye appeal, especially if they're coming by. You're going into their home turf, and they're going to recognize that. So once we get that out, now we have the trap bed made, and that's where our trap's going to go, right here. As I said, we're using this Duke 550. It's a fantastic trap. It is just a real good piece of equipment. Once you get that set, all you got to do is pull down on the pan. You're going to hear it click, and that's ready to fire. Now it's ready to go. Level pan, and that's exactly what we want. You want to have a good staking system, so when you do catch them, they're still here. So once you get that in there, we're just going to pull it to the side. Now that's set. Now we're going to put our trap in the bed right here. One thing you can do on that chain, just knock it down, and then just set your trap right on top of it, just like that. Now in accordance to the hole, we're back about 10, 12 inches. I like setting straight back from the hole where my bait's gonna be. Ultimately, that's pretty much where I'm gonna want the placement on my trap. As I said, the biggest part of being a successful predator trapper is packing this in here as tight as you can get it. And you see I'm using this wet dirt that is I got deeper down over here to the left. You take this dirt and you pack in around these jaws and over the springs right here. You have to make sure that this is in there tight, because if it's not in there tight, anytime that animal comes in and steps on that trap like a jaw or a spring, see, I still got a little movement there. I need to do a little better job. And take your time doing this to where you get this packed in, because this is the key to being a successful trapper right there. That thing has to be in there solid. Now, once we sift that over, we want to find the pan again, And then we want to pack around that. Just like that again. And now that's exactly what we're looking for when it comes to having your trap bedded properly and a good working set. We're going to use our MOUNTAINMAN, which is 4 equal parts of, get my spoon, it's 4 equal parts of ground poultry, ground Angus, rendered prairie dog, and also fresh ground prairie dog. And as you can see, that is a fantastic concoction, and the coyotes and predators are gonna work that set to get down in there to get that. I don't use a lot of lure a lot of times. I'm basically looking to just use a little bit. I just want another scent coming out of there. And there are literally 5-6 layers of scent in this. And this is our madness. And we're just gonna put that right there and throw that down in the hole. And that's really all we have to do for this set. Other than we're gonna take a little bit of grass, ball that up, and throw it down in the hole to where they have to actually work it and get down in there. Well, I want to take a little time here. We're gonna pound a set in here. We're right on the banks of the Cheyenne River out here. We're on this one ranch, and he's got a bunch of cattle up here on the backside, and there's a lot of coyote sign through here, and we're looking to take a few of those out of his equation. I'm gonna pound a kind of a dirt hole, but a trench set into this sand mound here, and we're gonna do that. But I wanted to take some time here real quick and show you the difference of the Duke 550 versus the new Duke 650 that's coming out. You can see them bedded in the ground next to each other, the vast difference of that 650 in size versus that 550. Now that 550 is going to work for you for all your different critters out there, whether it's fox, coyote, bobcat, it doesn't matter. For you Western guys that are looking for a trap on your 3-day checks and stuff, and you're looking for something that is going to work for coyote and wolf, because you got a lot of wolf problems now, this new Duke 650 is going to work awesome for you. It's beefy, it's got the cast iron jaws, it's got the big pan, the big catch pattern, and as you can see, them bedded next to each other just shows you the vast difference in size. And ultimately, if you're in the market for a bigger trap, I would highly recommend you stop and check out the 650 that's coming out by Duke, because that is a fantastic product, and it's pretty much one of the beefiest, best made traps on the market. But I wanted to take a little time and just show you that difference next to each other. It's got just an unbelievable 4-coiled system. It's going to hold that animal. I really like those cast iron jaws also because they're easier on the animal, and when you have that long check, 3-day check, if you get them that first or second day, they're not going to beat their pan or their paw up working that trap, and they can't get underneath there to work either. So ultimately, if you need a bigger trap, make sure you check out that 650. We're going to pound one of the Duke 550s in here with a little trench set. I'm going to show you that set real quick, but I really wanted to show you the difference in that new trap that Duke's bringing out. And ultimately, you'll see here, that is a beast. It just is going to work for you out there, and it's an awesome trap, and I'd highly recommend you get an opportunity to check those out. I'm going to do kind of a mini trench set type per se. Just going to dig back into the ground here, kind of almost like a little badger dig, but I'm going to bring this out and make it kind of a walkway. I'm going to have my trap back here. A lot of times those coyotes, well, they're not going to come in and push your set. They're going to stay back, try and smell, try and investigate. Well, what we're going to do is try and get them in that process to where if a coyote's on his front feet and he's looking to lean, he's going to be about right here. That's where our trap's going to go, but our bait's going to be up in the area right here. So ultimately, that's what we're looking to do right there. So now I just want to get this hole back in there deep and as far as I can go, and that smell from our MOUNTAINMAN and our lure or whatever we put in there is going to work out through here. Now, another thing, when you find a sandbank or a mound like this, this is an awesome spot to where they're going to notice that eye appeal when they come by. You're disturbing this whole area. Any coyote that comes through here is going to recognize that, and they're automatically going to come investigate, and then they're going to get your lure, your bait, your smell, and that hopefully will draw them in. There's that. Give it a little set. We're going to bed that baby way back here. Now, as you can see, I'm bedding this probably a good 2 feet from the hole. That's what I want to do. I'm fine with that. That's where I want it. And you're going to see as I pack this in here, now we got no wobble. That's exactly what we want. We're good to go. I'm going to actually create a little trail for him with all this sand. I don't want them working up from here. I want them working this way, so I'm going to work a way in for them right there. And that's exactly where we want to be. Them to work right up on here. Flatten this off. This is our 4 meat-based predator bait. Prairie dog, ground poultry, some ground Angus. Oh, that's nice. Put that right up in the hole. And then we're going to just put a little bit of our madness in there. That's got a little bit of skunk essence on it, and you don't need much, just a little bit. Now all that scent is coming out of that hole, and any critter that comes by here is going to work in there and investigate that. And that's all you really need to do with that set. We got it set up to where have that trench back through there, traps back here where they're going to actually work up in to lean in, and we got a lot of coyote sign. We saw coyote scat down here on the road, up here on the road. We got this big tree here, which is a marker. They're going to check this out every time they come through. And ultimately, if you put sets in like this in locations that you have that you can do this, you're going to get the opportunity to catch them as well. Well, this week I wanted to show you a couple of the products that we use for our fur handling needs. We use a lot of the Weeby products. You have your pelters, scrapers, things of that nature here. Tail stripper, beaver knife, soft-handed knives, red fox, vixen. These are a really, really sharp knife, but they are just a fantastic skinner. For all you ranchers and farmers out there and guys that are out in the field a lot though, they all come with a handy pouch for your belt. And as you know, when you're out in the field, you really need a sharp knife sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of the duties that you have out there. But along with that, if you're looking to do any fur handling for market or for tanning, fur, home decor, anything of that nature, check out the Weeby line. I think you're going to be very happy with it. They have something that can fit all budgets and something that's going to pretty much handle all your needs as a fur handler. So make sure you get on their website, and I think you're going to be very happy with what you find. Well, we got a nice coyote here. As I was saying earlier, this has turned into my favorite spot. I actually set this over here. One of the sets you saw me make, it's over here about 10 yards. And I told you I was going to put another couple on this 2-track right here. And come in here, this is the second day. First day, we didn't have anything around the sets. That's one of the things that you need to remember when you're out here canine trapping. When you pound sets in, you know, you're probably not going to catch any of those canines. You might get a fox or two, but the coyotes, sometimes they stay away, especially if you have any human scent or whatever. They're a little more leery, but that's a dark coyote. He's got a really nice coat. But ultimately, This is really turning into my favorite spot. And we got that housing development over here about 100 yards away, and really only just a patch of woods that's maybe 1.5 miles, 2 miles wide that runs in between a bunch of houses. But it's a really nice coyote. I got him in this 1 3/4 Duke offset. He's in there good. He's held good, but ultimately, if you pound these sets in the ground, you're gonna be successful as well. So it's just a beautiful, beautiful coyote, and I'm happy to get him. We got some more sets to check today, and hopefully we have some more down the road. But it's really nice to come in here and see him bouncing. So we're gonna get this coyote taken care of, and I'm gonna show you the remake. I can smell him. The wind direction comes out of the northwest here, and I'm right downwind, and he's got this area polluted with scent, which is just going to be a really good call to anything downwind to come in here and investigate this. And I would fully expect that I'll have action at these sets over the next couple days throughout this week. But really nice coyote, and I'll get him taken care of. Put this remake in here. He, as I said, he's got this all, so I can just smell it coming out of here. Just smells just very coyote coming right up. Pretty awesome. I like it. We'll get this bed remade. Anyway, but like I said, if you put these sets in the ground, you're going to have an opportunity to catch these animals. And ultimately, if you're going to put the hard work in, you're going to get the benefits from it. And I can't express that enough. If you bed your trap properly, that's the biggest key. Bed that trap solid, and you're going to catch these animals. I actually, I don't know if it was this coyote or a different one. I just went down and checked that last set down there by the wood line, and you can see a coyote print right on the set where he missed the pan. So if it wasn't this dog, we're going to get another opportunity at that one when he comes back in. But I couldn't be any happier than I am right now with the success that I've been having here over the last couple years. But we're getting this bedded in there as tight as I can, packed around. And if I step or push anywhere on this trap around this, it's not moving. And that's exactly what we're looking for in getting our trap in the ground. Get my dirt hole dug again, as you can see, getting way down in there. That's good. Get some bait. Get a big glob down in there. As you can see, I'm pretty liberal with my bait use. I don't think you can ever overdo it with bait. I think you can overdo it with lure and things of that nature, but I don't think you can ever overdo it with bait. So I'm pretty liberal on my bait use. Just gonna take some of this duff that he's got all of his urine on and whatever. I don't need to put any lure, any urine here, anything, because all the scent is on this. This whole area is absolutely polluted with urine and his scat, and it's just going to draw every predator in this area into here for another opportunity at another canine. Well, that set's pretty much done. Like I said, this area is just full of scent, and got herself a nice dog today, and hopefully we'll come back in here over the next couple days and have some more predators. But just finishing up on this, just remember, bed your trap properly, make it solid, have something down the hole that they're interested in and piques their curiosity, come over, and you're going to be successful trapping these canines as well.
North American Trapper Predation Packages. Get any one of our specific trapping packages that has been ultimately designed to help you become the master predation controller of your farm, ranch, or hunting lease. Control the predators that are costing you time and money, and get out there trapping today with one of our North American Trapper Predation boxes. All of the packages come with the trapping essentials to get you out in the field, plus an instructional DVD that will show you the way. Visit us at NorthAmericanTrapper.com and start breaking dirt today.
Losing money on crop damage? Raccoons eating all your deer feed? We've got you covered at North American Trapper. Handle those raiders of the night with our Raccoon DP package. Start controlling those nest raiders by moving some soil today at NorthAmericanTrapper.com.
Well, we just put a set in down here on this fence row, and the prevailing wind's coming up across here into these plains. I want to show you a different set that you can use while you're out there when you know you're on a distinct coyote trail and you know you're on a canine trail. The wind's blowing this way towards the trail along this fence row. We can actually use this as a urine post type set. We're going to put the trap right here, and ultimately if they're running this edgeway, that urine scent's going to hit them over there about 4 or 5 feet. When they're running by, they're going to come over to mark it themselves. This set here, you catch them by the back foot a lot of times. They'll work up, put their foot down to lift their back leg to urinate, and you end up catching a lot of them in the back foot here. But ultimately, we don't want to do with this set what we did on our dirt hole. We don't want to make it gaudy. We kind of want to blend this in and really make this to just where it's on the bed, and then we're going to put grass clippings over it. But we're just going to dig a place for our trap right here. Okay, now we'll set our Duke 550. As I said earlier, we got this triple swiveled. Click, ready to go. And we're going to drive that stake in right smack dab in the middle there. So we got that in there. Set it. Our trap is going to go right there. Down in there, and we're going to bed that in. Remember, as I said earlier, the key to all these sets and being successful is to bed that trap in properly to where there's no wobble and no wiggle. We want to pack that in around there, and that's exactly what we want. Now, any animal comes in, steps anywhere on that trap, you can see there's no wobble. And in accordance to where our urine's going to be, he's going to come in, put his back foot down, boom, right there. Move that over just a hair to there. And that's absolutely what we want for our set. Let's cover it up. Now, as you can see, this isn't near as gaudy as that dirt hole was. And there's a reason for that. We don't want their attention because we're not trying to get them to work our hole. Basically, I'm just going to take some of this old duff now. I like to do this, and then I just shred it like a cheese grater down through my sifter. And that's all we want to do. We're going to build this up the way it was. We don't want that looking any different than a kind of a place where what we're trying to do here is create a scent post, and this looks like it's wore out from their feet coming up and making marks on this here. So ultimately, that is exactly what we want there. We're just going to take some coyote urine and we're going to soak that up right there. Now, urine evaporates, that's why I'm putting a lot on there. I want that to smell really, really good right to that trail 4 or 5 feet away. And that's all we want to do. And that's a scent post set coming in. It's almost like they're walking through. Boom, right there. It's just another thing you can do out here to catch these canines. We're on this fence row, as I showed you. Got a dirt hole about 8 feet away. Got a scent post set here, 2 sets. Working this corridor, and hopefully we come back in here, and it'd be nice to come in here and have a double. But that's just really all there is to putting this in there. I know I get redundant a lot of times. 99% of your problems can be fixed by taking your time, bedding that trap properly, because there's no use rushing and putting these in, because you're going to go back, they're going to be dug up, they're going to be set off because they weren't bedded properly. But we spent an extra 2-3 minutes making sure they're in there tight. Find that good hard clay, maybe a little deeper in the soil, pack that in, come in, put their foot there, and you got them. So then we're gonna head down and hopefully get a few more in before dark, and come back out here, hopefully have some bouncing. Well, I want to take a little time to talk to you about the DS4K Max that Stealth Cam puts out. We're actually using a lot of these game cameras now. We're actually putting them on a lot of our sets to see how the animals are actually working our sets, how they're approaching the different sets that we have out there. And these have been a very valuable tool for us in allowing us to actually see how our baits and lures are working, if we're getting, what type of percentages at each set. Are they working the set, every animal that comes by? Are some not working the sets? And it's allowing us to really gather a lot of information that's helping us in the field on many different levels. So I'd highly recommend you check out these Stealth Cam cameras. Their whole product line, they have a lot of different cameras that can suit a lot of different budgets. But this 4K Max here, DS4K Max, is really, really good. It takes night video up to about 180 seconds. And honestly, it's been a very valuable tool for us in a lot of different processes that we're doing out there on the line. So make sure you check out that whole line, and I think you're going to find something that'll help you be successful as well. Well, we have a location here. We actually have a red fox back here I caught. My dad was hunting deer up here early in archery season. He said he saw a red fox on this turn, so that might be the one. So I come up and put a couple traps in, but this is a mountainous location here. We have a big mountain right here. This is just an intersection where the main road goes around a turn, and then we have this old logging road here. I saw a pile of coyote scat right here, a big pile, when I was setting it, so I know I'm on location here. I can catch fox, coyote, bobcat, maybe a big boar coon coming down through here. But I put these sets in 2 days ago, and this fox came through. But ultimately, we want to trap those field edges and the fence rows and the little trails through the fence rows and the corners of fields and things like that. But don't pass up these mountain locations, because ultimately, you're going to have a lot of opportunities where these roads intersect. Anytime I make a set, I want to place it where you have at least two trails coming together. This main road we're on here is a trail, and this old logging road is a trail. And we got a nice red fox back here, so let's go over and take a look at him. Well, that's a nice cherry red. That's beautiful. It's pretty awesome to be out here. This is the family land. We've been hunting this land for 30 years. I've been coming up here since I was probably 15, and I've seen coyotes. Well, we've caught coyotes. My dad caught a fisher on this mountain, had to let it go. This is actually the first time I've ever set up here on the family land. My dad used to set this, and I would hear his stories, but he was deer hunting here in this early archery season. He said he saw a fox right on this turn where this road meets this old logging road, and this might be the one, but that's a beautiful red fox, beautiful cherry red. A lot of times you see online or you talk to people, and I just wanted to make a point here. You put these sets in the ground, if you put the hard work and you put a trap in the ground and you have it in there and you have it bedded properly and you have something in the hole that piques their curiosity, you're going to catch any of these canines. And don't think that you can't catch coyotes. If a coyote would have came here first, I'd have a coyote here this morning, but the red fox beat him to it. But, if you have the desire, which I hope you do, to get out here and trap, it's a wonderful sport. You're doing a service, so we're going to save some ground nesting birds, and maybe the grouse population will be a little stronger. But don't let anybody tell you that you can't come out here and do this. And it's something that anybody can do. And really, quite honestly, you're going to get out of what you put into it. The more sets you're going to put in the ground, the more fur you're going to get for your shed. But that is just a beautiful red fox. And I'm pretty happy to get him today. And I got to thank my dad for letting me know he saw one on this turn. But we're going to get him taken care of. I'm going to actually remake this, and then we're going to head on down the road, but that's a beautiful red fox right there. Ultimately, if you're out there making these sets, doesn't matter if you're a farmer, rancher, landowner, or whatever, put the time in, do your fur up, and ultimately it's something that you can use as a good conversation piece, fur decor in your home, your camp, your lodge. You can give them away as gifts. They're really nice once they're tan. But, you know, that's part of the process as well. Doing your fur up and showing respect for the animal in the quarry that we do chase and getting the most out of it, whether you send it to market or keep it for a nice keepsake. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of the fun that I had last fall. And ultimately, these are all going to be tanned, and some of them will be on the back of the couch, and some of them will be given away as gifts. So make sure you're doing this in your process as well.